We have another international squad for the July window. England are going to be playing 2 tests against Argentina in a series that really matters because they are 5th and 6th. Argentina just narrowly on points in the world rankings above England. The World Cup draw is happening, and these games will dictate the position that those teams go into when it comes to the World Cup draw. So there's a lot on the line. As well as, for England, it's about depth building and it's about the next generation coming through. So I cannot wait for this series as well with the British and Irish Lions, with New Zealand against France. It's going to be fun. Your thoughts on Steve Borthwick's squad? He's named 36 players, 20 forwards, 16 backs, and no surprises. It's a Steve Borthwick squad. Very little changes. A couple of players that are back and available. Those players being Ben Curry and Harry Randall, who come in for Jack Kenningham and Rafi Quirk, who drop out. Obviously, no one at the RFU. Steve Borthwick didn't watch my video earlier where I was praising New Zealand for presenting their squad graphic by position, and England have gone for the alphabetical list. So I will go through each position by position, and make sense of it, see what we think the pecking order is, what the strongest 23 will be. But before I get there, and please do tell me what you reckon in the comments down below, please. Let me just remind you, England are in such a good position in terms of their squad. There's been a bit of negativity bubbling around with this England team. I think it's tracking really well to once again do what England always do and be really competitive at a Rugby World Cup. The age profile, firstly, of the England squad, even when everyone is available, is really young. It's one of the youngest squads in world rugby, and there's a load more young talent there. And this is an England squad with some really, really good players in it. A lot of experience and some serious promise. And that is, just to highlight what I'm talking about. So the British and Irish Lions is obviously happening at the moment. There's some players injured. There's some not selected. That is a 23-man squad of players not going to Argentina. And legitimately, particularly the starting 15, could legitimately be, if everyone were fit and available, that could be a starting 15 in the Six Nations next year. Look at that list of players. Ellis Genge, Luke Cowan-Dickie, Will Stewart, Maro Itoje, George Martin, Ollie Chesham, Tom Curry, Ben Earl. That is a pack that could do some damage against the best teams in the world. And a backline of Mitchell Smith, Dingwall Lawrence, Slightholme Freeman and Furbank. You've got is that 6 Northampton Saints in that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 Northampton Saints in the backline. None of them are with England this summer. England are in a really good position. You've got 2 British and Irish Lions on the bench in that team with Henry Pollock and Marcus Smith. And more really good young promising players like Afolabi Fasogbon, Joe Batley, who are either not selected or unavailable due to injury. So I'm not going to quibble too much with Steve Borthwick's selections. You know, Abano over this player, or should this guy have been in or not? The only one I will say probably is that Emmanuel Faye-Waboso can feel very, very lucky that he is in the squad, being as he's got a 2-game suspension, meaning you won't be able to play against Argentina, and he's only going to be there for the USA game, but he's not really needed. So I'm sure Steve Borthwick is thinking he's going to train him back into fitness, get the cohesion back again, and have a bit of time with him after he's had so much time out. So I'm sure Emmanuel Faye-Waboso is breathing a big sigh of relief right now. So loose head prop then. Position by position, I'll go through exactly as it was in the last training squad and in the build-up to that game against the French 15 at the weekend. Finn Baxter, Bevan Rodd, Manny Eogan. I'm saying Manny Eogan is a guy that is just going to play against the USA. Unless there's an injury, he will be there to get a bit of experience, be around the squad, play against the USA. And it will be Baxter and Rodd that will do the job against Argentina. Joe Hayes, Trevor Davison and Asher Opoku for Jaw. That'll be Joe Hayes with the starting job. He did really well against France at the weekend. And I don't know who will be the backup. Probably Asher Opoku for Jaw. Trevor Davison, though, he's pretty handy. So that one, there's no players that are being taken for the USA. That's a good fight for the spots in a matchday squad. Hooker, it's as it was. Curtis Langdon getting picked over Gabriel Ogre, and it's the 2 Saracens, George and Theo Dan. It'll be Jamie George to start, and probably Theo Dan on the bench. With Langdon, he'll play against the USA, but he could well play against Argentina. He's a good player. Same 4 locks as well from the last training camp, with Charlie Ewels having joined up with them. Arthur Clarke alongside the 2 that started against France, Nick Ezekwe and Alex Coles. Interesting to see how much time Chandler Cunningham-South gets at second row on this tour as well. That's where I'd like to see him playing a little bit more, because it means you can have more game time for Ted Hill. And you've got Chandler Cunningham-South and Ted Hill, 2 out-and-out sixes. In the 7 position, Jack Kenningham was there, but Ben Curry is fit again, so Kenningham drops out. So you've got 3 out-and-out 7s, Ben Curry, Sam Underhill, and Guy Pepper. And you've got Tom Willis and Alex Dombrandt as your out-and-out 8s. Guy Pepper, I know he played against the France 15 at the weekend. I think Guy Pepper's just being taken for the USA game and to be around the squad. I think you've got 2 clear 6s, 2 clear elite 7s, 2 clear 8s. Pressure on Dombrandt, I guess that's the one question. Could Guy Pepper sort of oust Dombrandt from where he is in the pecking order? Because Guy Pepper can slot across and play number 8. So I'd say that Alex Dombrandt, with all the players that are going to come back in and that team I showed last time, this might be, I'm not going to say last chance saloon, but he needs to make an impact, because Tom Willis, I thought, just looked fantastic at the weekend. Looked really, really good. Reminded me of kind of Dwayne Vermeulen, massive body, big bear of a number 8. Loved it. Onto the back line then. Scrum half. And we've got a change here. So we've had one change from the previous training squad, and that was Ben Curry in for Jack Kenningham. The other one, Rafi Quirk out. Harry Randall is fit and available and back in. And it's going to be really interesting to see what Steve Borthwick does with the scrum half position. Ben Spencer, by successive coaches, and certainly by Steve Borthwick, has been put further down the pecking order than Alex Mitchell, Jack Van Portfleet, Harry Randall. He's been kind of number 4. I didn't think it was Spencer's best game at the weekend, but then Steve Borthwick clearly wanted a kind of territorial kicking game. And if you're going to do that, then that puts Ben Spencer back in the frame. Or is he going to kind of change the way he plays a little bit, create a bit of a spark, go for a bit of gas and sniping, and in which case Harry Randall comes back into the picture. So I guess it's, how do you want to play, Mr. Borthwick? Fly half, George Ford is going to get his 100th appearance, his 100th cap for England when he takes to the field in that first Argentina test. Charlie Atkinson is there for that USA game. Centre, Fraser Dingwall, big loss. So it's the same 5. You've got Luke Northmore, Max Ajomo, alongside the 3 guys that were involved in that match against the France 15 at the weekend: Henry Slade, Seb Atkinson, Oscar Beard. Quite green, quite raw, and a real shame that Dingwall's not there. I'm going to say Max Ajomo is in for that USA game. That's when he will get used. I'd love to see him. Maybe away in Argentina, not the place to throw him in for a first game, but he's a proper talent, so I wouldn't be against it. Outside backs, Faye Waboso, very lucky. So there are only 5 players available for those 2 Argentina tests. Will Muir stays in. Ollie Slightholme is out injured. Roebuck, Murley. So 3 wingers and 2 fullbacks, Freddie Stewart and Joe Carpenter. Probably, I mean, there's 3 wingers and there's 2 spots. So they could all 3 be involved in a matchday squad. They could all get game time against Argentina in the 2 tests. But if I had to guess, in fact, I'll go on and do this. If I had to guess what the team is going to be for the Argentina match, then I'd probably guess it's going to be like that. That it'll be a 6-2 split. No, this isn't me guessing what I think Steve Borthwick's going to do. For the most part, it is. The back line, I'm kind of guessing what I think he's going to do. He'll go Van Portfleet Ford, Atkinson Slade. And as much as I've said Fraser Dingwall's a big loss, Seb Atkinson I thought was really promising. Murley, Roebuck and Stewart as your back 3. Randall, Beard on the bench. The Chandler Cunningham-South selection, I still want to see him at second row so you can get him and Ted Hill on the bench. That said, Chandler Cunningham-South seems to be at his best when he's playing, 50 minutes. He plays quite a lot of the time. That's sort of his average when he's on or off the bench for half an hour. So I can understand having Chandler Cunningham-South or Ted Hill on the bench. But yeah, just chucking that one out there. I just quite like to see Chandler Cunningham-South there so you can have them both on the pitch. Just go for a big old meaty back row. And quality players as well. Sam Underhill I've got on the bench there. And just to emphasise what I've said already, you've got serious levels of talent going away to Argentina. That does not look like a scratch team. And that is, for the most part, an England second team. It's in a good place. It's in a good place. That's my thoughts. I'm quite optimistic. I always am. Some people say I'm deluded. Some people say I don't know, being too kind to Borthwick. I think England are in a good place. We'll see how they get on against Argentina, who were, as they demonstrated on Friday night, a very, very handy team. And they were without quite a few of their players. So we'll see what their squad is and bring on the games in July.